let's talk about Diontae Johnson because obviously he's a talking point when it comes to Steelers Nation. There were serious rumors and many talking points from a lot of people, especially in our live streams and our comment sections, even during the draft, during the offseason, where everyone said, trade Diontae, let's get rid of him. And we always debunked it by saying, why would we trade Diontae Johnson? Do you know the amount of cap hit we would have taken if we traded him?
We did continually say that we were open to it, just not this upcoming season.
Oh, yeah.
And the specific reason is because of the dead cap hit that the Steelers have locked themselves into because of the extension that they gave Diontae before last year's season started.
Exactly.
The dead cap hit would be a little over $19.6 million, almost $20 million in dead cap if you were to release or trade Diontae.
Yeah, that's not fathomable. Why would you do that?
No.
And better yet, the Steelers just extended him. Why would they trade him after extending him? And to add on that, they just drafted Kenny Pickett. Why would you take targets away from him?
Yeah.
Especially the number one in the Steelers' eyes. I still think Pickens could be that.
Now, I consider him the number one based off his availability,
True,
his route running, his potential, and the amount of targets and usage he is on the offense.
and he gets a lot of that.
So if you look at those 4 examples that I just laid out there's probably more out there. But if you look at those 4 examples, he's the number one in the Steelers' eyes. Now, Pickens could very well take that role this upcoming season if he lives up to the potential.
Right.
But right now, Diontae is the number one.
And
the number one is being paid $16 million this upcoming season.
Yeah, so, and the Steelers really love Diontae Johnson. In fact, they trust him. I would say that if there was any trade candidates, he's one of those guys that are not going to be traded. I'd say he's up there with a Minka and a TJ and a Cam in terms of guys that will not be traded because the Steelers just trust him enough, which is why they gave him an extension. They just drafted Pickett. Why would you trade him away? And they, like you just said, all those things that he brings to the offense, that he brings for Kenny. I don't think he's being traded. He could be traded after this year, which is where we're a little bit more open, because let's say we do trade Diontae Johnson after the 2023 season. The Steelers would, rather than taking a $19.6 million cap hit by trading him this year, if they were to trade him next year, they would only take a $5.8 million dead cap hit, which is a lot less than what we would have done this year.
Yeah, compared to this year, it ain't half bad.
It's still a little hefty, but I think we can make up for that.
Well,
that's a little bit easier to make up for.
Hence, this is why I bring up, that this is a make or break year for Diontae Johnson. It's now or never for Diontae Johnson.
And better yet, if we see what Pickens is truly made of in his second year, could that push the Steelers to trade Diontae Johnson? Especially if we see what Calvin Austin could do. I don't know. But again, I really doubt Diontae Johnson ever gets traded by the Steelers. I think that's more of a thought and a rumor in Steelers Nation by Steelers fans. I think all that talk is from the fans around the world. Which, again, I do not blame you. As a matter of fact, I mostly agree with many of your guys' problems with Diontae. He does have a lot of reoccurring problems that shouldn't be as reoccurring.
After his extension, last year was so disappointing, dude.
Yeah.
Last year was disappointing. In 17 games, he played all 17 games. Hence why I say availability is a big part in his role.
Yeah.
86 receptions, 882 yards, 0 touchdowns.
0.
Not one for a man that is being paid $16 million average per year.
And I believe he broke the NFL record for most receptions in an NFL season without a single touchdown.
That's bad company to be in.
That is bad.
That's why I bring up Diontae this upcoming season is make or break for him.
Yes. But to add on that, I don't think the Steelers see it that way.
What makes you think that?
Just because of the trust they have in him. I think the Steelers trust him enough. Now, granted, Omar Khan could surprise us. He's already done things out of our bubble, which is great. So I could be wrong in saying that, but I don't think the Steelers look at Diontae the way Steelers fans are thinking of him in terms of make or break or trades. I don't think the Steelers view that of Diontae. I think that's only from Steelers fans. I could be wrong, but I do agree. It is make or break in the eyes of Steelers fans, and it should be for the Steelers because we should not be seeing the same errors from him that we saw in year 1 and year 2 and even year 3.
The man,
he is our number one. He's getting paid wide receiver 1 money. We should not be seeing these reoccurring mistakes, which are drops, which has been a little bit more minimized, thankfully, but still drops. Catching the ball and going 10 yards back and losing yardage. What else?
Just a lot of problems overall for a man that's going to be 27 in less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
The man's going to be 27 years old. He's going to be entering, his fifth, sixth year in the league, and he's still having these problems for a guy that is pictured as a number one.
Yeah, I mean, he should not be having these problems. Everyone says they're mental, but the way I see it, it's just if these are happening in year 4 and 5, they're not mental. They're just part of your game. And at that point, like that gets old real fast because I thought we'd been over this 1,000 times. I thought we were over this already. I thought we wouldn't see these mistakes no more.
And I do want to throw this stat out there as well with his stats last year. He had a total of 8 drops as well last year. 8.
He is very frustrating. Diontae Johnson is the most frustrating wide receiver in the NFL because he does have the wide receiver 1 potential. His route running is undeniable, and that's what everyone always comes back to with Diontae. Oh, he's a great route runner. Yeah, no shit. He's a great route runner. No one's going to deny that. But 0 touchdowns last year for getting paid $16 million, I mean...
The man's inconsistent with his hands. The guy tries too hard when he has a football in his hands. The man is a very frustrating player to watch. He's fun, but frustrating.
At this point, you kind of know what to expect with the guy. Like he's young enough to continue to get better, but which
is why I still, as crazy as this may sound, I know what you're gonna say. Hope.
I know what you're gonna say.
Listen, I'm a fan of Diontae Johnson. I still have hope that the guy is going to take that number 1 role.
Yeah, but how many years are you going to keep saying that?
This is my last year.
Are you sure?
This is my last year. This is why I say this is make or break.
Well, I said that 2 years ago, and I said that last year. I do want to join you in saying that, but I'm like, how many times do I have to say this when if he keeps doing it, I kind of know what to expect at this point. So that's my frustration.
Well, this
with
is why I'm saying if this continues this upcoming year, this is it for Johnson. He may have 2 more years left, but this is it for him because Pickens could break out. Allen Robinson could still prove as a vital and reliable receiver at his age, as well as his leadership, as he is still with the team with 2 years with the trade with the Rams.
Yep.
Calvin Austin could break out. We don't know.
We still got Freiermuth under a rookie contract. Same thing with Connor Hayward. Who knows what Darnell Washington could bring if he steps up his game as a receiver.
So this is a big year coming up for Johnson. You know, everyone's looking at George Pickens as a big upcoming year, and rightfully so. But I think a lot of eyes should also be on Diontae Johnson because this is a big year coming for a man that had 0 touchdowns last year, that has paid $16 million annually.
I couldn't agree more.
As the number 1, if you're looking at it at all aspects, not just stats.
No, I couldn't agree more. But I do have to reiterate, I don't know if the Steelers view that.
The Steelers may not view it like that, but I mean,
that doesn't mean us fans can't view that.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers we're talking about at wide receiver.
You're absolutely right.
At wide receiver, the man could be easily replaceable. Pickens could be his replacement. We could draft the guy next year and he'd be replacement.
I know. We've seen these guys come and gone 1,000 times.
But listen, after all I just stated, I still have hope for Johnson. I still think he has potential that Daryl Drake saw in him, hence why Johnson is a Steeler. I truly believe, and I will keep preaching it. If Daryl Drake did not pound the table for Diontae Johnson, this man would probably not be a Steeler. This man would probably not be the $16 million man as he is today.
No, you're absolutely right.
He could have been taken by the Buccaneers. He could have been taken by the Commanders. He could have been taken by the Ravens. I don't think he'd be reaching the potential, the level that he is with the Steelers right now. I don't think people would be looking at him at the same potential, as the targets and the availability and his route running as much as the Steelers do right now. Daryl Drake is the reason why he is a Steeler.
And may he rest in peace.
And Johnson needs to continue to live up to that. This is make or break for Diontae.
What does Daryl Drake say? Shut out the noise.
Don't
be good when great is available.
Don't settle for good when great is available. Great is still available. It's still in reach for Diontae. His hands just gotta work.
It's right there, dude. Just grab it.
Run forward.
It's like grabbing the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's right there. Why are you climbing the ladder so fucking slow? It's right there. So, Diontae, he's frustrating. We know this. And I don't know why many of us keep saying, oh man, we still have hope. I find myself doing it again.
And I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. We said it 6 months ago. We're saying it right now.
If you have any hope left for Diontae Johnson, this is his last chance. And I'm not trying to be negative on Diontae. I love Diontae.
Same here.
I do. I loved him coming out of Toledo. I remember thinking he could be a day 3 steal. Then we drafted him at the bottom of the 3rd round. You know, he could be the next AB. He's AB without the AB issues. And he brings similar traits, but, guy, he just needs to get out of his own way. So this needs to be the year. This is truly a make or break for Diontae Johnson, as Rob stated.
We'll see what happens, man. But Johnson, it's time to step up. Live up to that contract.
But I hope that the addition of Allen Robinson really has an effect, not only on Diontae, but the entire wide receiver room.